Furby, would you like me to read something from our book to you? I had a comment that asked, I know that you saw that, and we're not going to do that right now. It has to charge. I forgot to charge it. It doesn't work. So it has to charge. We'll do that tomorrow. But today, can we read a part of your book? Somebody asked how you got your name. So I'm looking up. Okay, it's chapter 6. And the chapters aren't very long. So let's go ahead and read this part of your book to you. It's called From Regal to Playful, Choosing Furby's Name. When I met him, Furby was known by a different name. While I had always dreamed of owning a cockatoo, I had never settled on a hypothetical name. I had imagined the companionship, the laughter, the mischief, but never what I would call one when the dream became a reality. I think that I was afraid of wanting it too badly. So when it came time to choose a name for my new cockatoo, I found myself completely stuck. I wanted something unique and cute, something that felt right, and most importantly, something I wouldn't mind saying 1,000 times a day for the rest of my life. When he came home from the store, his name was Ferdinand. They called him Ferdy. It was a fine name, regal even, but it didn't feel like his name. It didn't roll off my tongue naturally, and every time I said it, it felt like I was calling someone else's bird. I wanted something that came from us, something that truly fit him. I spent days mulling over the possibilities. Did I want something classic like Polly? Something funny like Quackers? A name that referenced his flightedness like Icarus? I tossed around different ideas, but nothing clicked. Then my husband casually suggested, "What about Furby?" The moment I heard it, I knew. I wish that you would be on the camera because you're being so cute. Hold on. I need to move the stand so they can see how friggin' adorable you are listening to this. Sorry about that. The moment I heard it, I knew. I burst out laughing at first. It was unexpected and perfect. It fit him in a way I couldn't quite explain at that moment. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. When I was a child, there was a new robotic toy called a Furby. I think they still make them. These small, fuzzy creatures had big, expressive eyes, and they spoke, sang, and reacted to their surroundings. They made silly noises, danced when excited, and had this uncanny way of communicating that felt almost alive. I never had one of my own, but I was fascinated by them. I loved their looks, their sounds, and their way of learning new words. Everything about them reminded me of birds. And now here I was, with a real-life Furby. My Furby had fluffy white feathers instead of synthetic fur, but the similarities were undeniable. He chattered constantly. "Would you stop going out of camera, you turd head?" He chattered constantly, tilting his head dramatically when he listened, responding with perfectly timed phrases. The difference between my Furby and the toy is that he actually knows what I'm saying and can reply appropriately. He made the cutest little squeaky noises when he was excited, flapped his wings like he was doing a happy dance, and was always watching everything around him with bright, intelligent eyes. He wasn't just named after the toy, he was the toy, just in real life. In fact, to this day, Furby tells me that he is your favorite toy. At first, I worried about changing his name. He was over 5 years old. I was worried that he would be confused. I also wondered if he would still recognize when I was calling him. But when we settled on Furby, it was so close to Ferdy that those worries evaporated. I couldn't imagine calling him anything else. Ferdinand was a fine name, but Furby? Furby the Burb.